Sisiwa Kristu, tulieneze neno la Bwana mpaka arudi. Yeah, that's the shit we used to sing back in primary school. Oh, nowadays I normally ask myself some questions. Like, how do politicians come up with those insults and roasts? Just squeeze it, they have been so notorious, but they are calling each other names I can't even stand up and say. Mind you, I'm a comedian, so I don't even have the courage to go up on stage and say some of those words, not even to my friends. I think politicians are getting too much. So it's like one of them started an insult, said, okay, if I say this, I might trend and get some eyeballs, which is something good for them because that's what they always want. They want attention. Then he wrote some few lines and he said, okay, I'll go attack him on this and this. Of course, all politicians are corrupt or more or less the same. And yeah, so he went down, jotted some few lines, and he was like, okay, I'll mention corruption here. I'll also mention about his looks. I'll mention about his insecurities, about his ears, his big stomach, how he has slimmed. Then I'll get his attention. Went to the church, did the same. Then got the other guy's attention. The other guy came fuming. He was so emotional. Started throwing insults all over. He was saying one of the politicians from Kitale doesn't even have a wife. He doesn't even have an home. I mean, that was so crazy. That was crazy. From a top leader who is supposed to be uniting the country. Honestly, that was so shameful. Then he started saying their work is eating. Okay, that was funny, honestly. That part was so funny. When he was saying their work is eating, getting food, and polluting air in the meetings. That was funny, honestly. Then he said they need to go to the gym so that they can cut weight. They have big stomachs and big heads. Okay, tell me which exercises in the gym help you reduce the weight of the head. I'd really love to. I'd really love to know which kind of exercises that can help you reduce the size and weight of your head because, as you can see, I have a big head, which needs to be cut down into a small size. That brings me to my lame joke. You know, when I was growing up at school, students used to make fun about how my head is big. I was wondering to myself, how did they know? Yet they haven't seen it. Oh shit. And yeah, I've been really struggling. By the way, my account is not growing. I've been posting lots and lots of shit. And it doesn't make any difference because some videos are going without views. I'm getting videos where I have like not even a quarter of my age. Because now I'm getting older, each and every day. And when I look at my views, they're not even a quarter of my age. So I get discouraged sometimes. I think about, okay, why don't I quit and maybe try another thing? But it's so addictive, man. I don't know where to start from. Like, how will I quit anyway? So the only thing I can do is just go with the pace of life. I'll just be creating what I can. Where I feel like I'm defeated, then I quit and start from there the other day. Okay, another day, not the other day, another day. I also realized when you get older, um, some things get difficult. Like a kid, when someone offended you, it was easier for you to forgive them. But that's not the case when you get older. I mean, you can forgive someone, yes, but now forgetting is always difficult. Forgetting is so difficult. I don't know, maybe it's because we have been screwed over many times now. We feel like we might be screwed again, so we use that as a defense mechanism. I don't know honestly. But what I know is when you get older, forgiving becomes hard. Now I understand why, as kids, we used to be told, okay, don't go at that person's place. Don't say hi to them. Avoid them. Be cautious. If they give you food, don't take it. If they give you even water, say thanks. Say you're full. Or just be cautious. Pretend they are your friends. Just pretend they are your friends. And yeah, well, what used to happen. But now I understand as I'm getting older. In fact, back then when a parent used to tell you they don't have money and you see they have money, you used to feel like, okay, my parent is trying to be stingy. But the older you grow, the more you get to understand what life is. Now I understand, yes, you could be having the money, but the money is for different purposes. You could be having money, but you have financial constraints in a sense that the needs you have surpasses this amount of money. So you have to prioritize. You have to see, okay, what's the opportunity cost of having this one over having this one? Then you go with what's more urgent at that moment, then deal with the other things later on. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, now I understand better because sometimes I have money, but I don't have money. I mean, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, what happened during my week is I saw some nuns who were walking from the church. Not well dressed, of course, yet they get to be given money by church. I mean, by the church. So ideally, these people are supposed to step up on their dressing. They're supposed to look neat. Um, and looking at those nuns, I understood why they chose that part. No, I'm not saying so because they're not so good looking. No, that's not the case. They were good looking, honestly. Honestly speaking, they were looking good. But now the issue is they don't want to make any effort in terms of dressing, in terms of grooming, in terms of looking good. Anyway, I understand why they chose God because there is no way God is going to come around and nag. Oh, you didn't dress up well, or feel embarrassed and run away from them. I understand why they are nuns now. Yeah, that's what I, I saw yesterday. And yeah, I was at the comedy club and I had some good experience. Of course, I killed. And now there came some South African white lady who was doing some comedy there. She came around and we were talking as a group, but she kept ignoring me every time. So I Just let her be. But inside my heart, I was feeling bitter. I was feeling bitter. I was feeling bitter. Anyway, when you feel bitter, you start wishing evil for someone. So I was praying in my heart, may she go on stage and fail to make people laugh. And yeah, she had some quite hard moment on stage. She struggled, but finally, of course, because she's a lady, she's a beautiful lady. Um, she got to she got to do what? She got to impress the people. Yeah, they liked her, but those were those giggles of ha 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 ha. Yeah, of course you can give me one like, who the hell are you, Sagar Bar? Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, I can see more people joining in. What? What? Anyway, I was reading about some community in Vietnam where you get to marry without paying dowry, which is honestly a good thing because you don't have to pay money for you to be given a wife. It's not that you're doing a business or something. But now the downside is you must say yes or no. Okay, yes, I want that like. So, but the downside is you have to chop off your forearms as a unique sign of love for you to get married to this woman. Crazy. Now imagine how difficult it is for a man in that community to convince someone, a man who was born without arms, of course, to convince someone that I'm not married. The girl will be there looking at you. Okay, what do you mean you're not married? You think I'm stupid? I can see you don't have arms, you're married. It can be even difficult for you to cheat because everywhere you go, people see, okay, this man is married. You're booking some room for you to do your own thing. Well, the people can see you for sure. This man is married, but he's here playing games while the wife is away. But now it's crazy in a sense that everyone in this community qualifies to be nominated as a member of parliament if they were here in Kenya as a member of parliament living with disabilities, because literally they're living with disabilities. But now the crazy scenario I was thinking about in my mind is, what if this guy without arms was to be caught in a crime scene? Then the police comes and say, okay, young man, okay, raise your hands up as a sign of surrender, of course. Then the guy has nothing to raise. So the policeman thinks, okay, this man could be armed. Let me shoot, maybe to scare him or disarm him. So he shoots, finds he has shot the man. Then coming to collect the weapon, he finds, oh, wow, this man was not even armed. He was already disarmed. Okay, that's a silly joke. But you know what? If I was to be the man without the forearms, I can't let anyone win in an argument against me because I'm the guy with the upper arm. Yeah. Now that's a good joke. That's a good joke. And I remember back in the days when we were in high school, adult magazines used to be on high demand. People used to fight for these magazines. They used to fight for the magazine, literally. You'd find people in class viewing a adult magazine, maybe one of those life in Koinange Street. Then you find a guy coming there and he's like, msiniruke mimi ndio next, like don't skip me, I'm the next one. So one time I was caught in such a situation. The teacher came and took my magazine away. The magazine, of course, we were viewing. Then at night, of course, we went to read the magazine hoping we'll get it. Getting to the staff room, even teachers were fighting for the magazine. So, anyway, long story short, we were sent home the next day to bring our parents. We were in the office waiting for the case to be heard, but the deputy was nowhere to be found together with the magazine. So the principal really got mad. Sanitambia nini? Oh, got really mad. That's not how the story goes. Really got mad. Sa mbona mnaniruka na mimi ndio nilikuwa next? Like, why are you skipping me and I was the next one? But when the dad of the owner of the magazine came, he was so furious. He couldn't contain his anger. In fact, he held his son's neck and he was like, sa nitaambia baba Ezra nini na ndiye alikuwa next. Yeah, that's the end of my tonight's session. I'll do another one tomorrow. Yeah. Good night. Okay.